I will pray for you, but if you get on my nerve, I will cuss you smooth out. My mouth ain't under control yet, and I can throw these hands. And let me tell you something, if I get my hands on you, I promise you, you're gonna know you've been in a fight. But I'm trying not to go there because I'm in transition.
All right, welcome kings and queens. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope this message, this YouTube finds you well. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Twitter, for pulling up. Thank you, YouTube, for pulling up. Y'all, today we are talking to Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 10. Ooh, I cannot wait, baby. I can't wait. I cannot wait to get down on it. I have a lot of things to say. Now, here's the thing. Let's level set here. I will not be covering the entire episode. There are just some key points that I want to lean into today that I have to lean. Oh, man. Hold on. I think I messed up. That there's some key points that I have to lean into today because I got some stuff to say. And then the rest of it, I am going to cover. I'm going to cover like in a pre-recorded video and do a premiere, if that's okay. So the part I'm going to do a premiere on will be where Portia has this pamper party and where she confronts Shamia. Okay. Where she confronts Shamia. Baby, the setup of it all. That's crazy. I'm so disappointed. I am so freaking disappointed in Shamia that you would allow Portia to finesse you out of your spot. Man, I'm telling you. You are judged by the company that you keep. And if you're not careful, some of y'all sitting right next to your Judas and you don't even know it. That's all I'm going to say. Some of you are seated right next to your Judas and don't even know it. But if you take a look at the thumbnail, I don't think my thumbnail showed earlier. I had to go in and plug it back in. That's crazy, YouTube. Come on now. But if you take a look at the thumbnail, the only two reasons why I was going to put Shamia. I was going to put Shamia on the thumbnail. And for those of you that don't really understand what I'm talking about, when I cover the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I do what is called a roster. The roster is the photo that you see. That's your thumbnail. And based on how they perform that week, I determine who makes the roster. I was going to put Shamia. I was going to put Shamia on the thumbnail. And then I'm sorry. Shamia, you don't deserve to make my thumbnail this week. Because you out here looking like boo-boo the fool. You don't deserve to. I took her ass off my damn thumbnail. Nah, you going to sit this one out. You going to ride the bench today. Because one thing I'm going to tell you, and two things for sure, is Angela got her damn lick back. Angela got her lick back. And that's why some of y'all need to stay in a child's place. Some of y'all need to stay in a child's place when it comes to grown women, the grown women of it all. And I know mean girls like to start working and attacking women's age and you old bitch and you this and you so that forgive my language, and you're this and that's why you're hot. Listen, when it comes to that grown woman work and that grown woman getting their lick back, Shamia and Portia cannot hang. They are completely out of their league. How many of you feel like Angela may have gotten her lick back? Holla if you hear me. I feel like she did. And y'all, she did it so beautifully. I didn't even put my damn thumbnail on the screen. Hold on. She did it so beautifully. There we go. Morning. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What is going on? There we go. Okay, there we go. Man, she got her lick back with Portia. Y'all don't even understand the play that Angela has run on these girls. And the crazy part is when I really get into this commentary and I do and say what I want to in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. We talking the Real Housewives, y'all. Season 16, episode 10. Angela got her damn lick back. I'm proud of her. See, some people think because you don't clap back immediately, you weak, you scared, you running. Ain't never scared. Angela ain't never scared. She is that girl. If you don't know, now you know. Listen, Ain't no turning the other cheek when you're dealing with a grown woman. She just waiting. She just bidding her time, waiting for a little time to pass, strategically trying to determine how she want to take your ass down. And that's exactly what Angela did. She set him up for the okey doke. Oh, Oakley set him up for the okey doke. Hook, line, and sink. She lured Shamil in with a little bit of honey and sugar. Serve up some good old tea. Lured her in with a okay, Dookie. That's my dog. Every time I get online, he decides that he needs to scratch himself. Lord have mercy. So yeah, Angela set him up, y'all. Lord Shamil right on in with a little bit of honey and sugar and got all the tea on Portia. Found out all of the pain points, the holes, the gaps in the friendships. Got her to tell it all, baby. Singing like a hummingbird. Just lay your head on my pillow. Here's a little bit of honey. Here's a little bit of sugar. She did what? Oh, yeah, you deserve to be here. Oh, Portia knows better than that. Why would Portia do that to you? And listen, drop the dime on their asses. And now Shamia's spilling all the tea. Angela's getting it drip by drip and then spreading it to the other cast members, including Portia. Now, that's how you go after. That's how you get your damn lick back. Y'all, that's all I'm saying. That's how you let a bitch know. Don't play with me. She got all up in Portia's head, had Portia's ass crying on camera after they played a game of tennis. See, that's that grown woman stuff I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The loudest ones in the room to me are always the weakest one. Angela didn't say anything, played coy, played nice, invited her over. Not to my real house, but maybe to one of my rental properties. We're going to play a game of tennis. I'm going to show myself to be friendly, and I'm going to get all up in your head. And by the time the day is over, you will walk away. And Portia sat there and cried, couldn't even take it, put the fan in front of her face. And at first, y'all thought she was laughing. Broke her down like a Lego. Broke her ass down. Broke her down. Did she not? Let me pause. Did she not? Come on, two Latrice, help me out. Did she not break her down? Oh, I'm finna really get into it. I'm just warming up. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. I'm Queen Sheba, y'all. Welcome to the palace. That's what I call my tribe, the palace. Listen, I hone in. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television. But listen, y'all better tell them what I do. Most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. I see you how I see a TV. She says Portia isn't perfect and has shown herself to not be a good friend to Shamia. But Shamia brought this up to the group and then got mad that Portia defended herself. Oh, we're about to get into it. But see, I always believe in this, how I see it. I'm a technical kind of girl. I work on technicalities a lot. The emotion is good, but the technicality is really what's going to make it make sense. It has to make sense. So a lot of times we start in the now as opposed to going back. Let's go back. Has Portia ever been a good friend to Shamia? So you got to go back in order for us to move forward. And once we get all of the intricate details, then we can have more of an informed discussion as opposed to just jumping into episode 9 or 10. And if we start at 9 or 10, it's really not a fair conversation, right? Because we need all of the information up front to massage the dialogue. I like Portia. I think Portia is beautiful. I think she's stunning. I think she's funny, witty, clever. I like that she plays the airhead role. She does it really good, but there is very toxic aspects to Portia. And when she decides that she wants to be on demon time, she is on demon time. But a lot of time Portia has received a pass because of her beauty. There is a such thing as a privilege for pretty or pretty privilege. So Portia is just being exploited for who and what she is, okay? And you're right. You make a very good point about Shamia, but let's talk about it. Let me take one more comment and then I'm going to jump in. DeJuan, don't start with me. Don't start with me, DeJuan. So does it matter if he had an outside child, if he's still outside the marriage fucking around? Which is better? Which is the lesser of the two evils for you as a woman? That your husband didn't have a baby? As long as he don't have a baby, he's all right. But he's out there, multiple women. We're going to get into that too. I highlighted your comment so I can just come back. The one. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh. Yes, let's get into it. We gonna have a good time today, and I'm opening up the link. I ain't scared. Y'all gonna come on up here today. So check it out. Yeah, Angela got all up in Portia's head, had her ass crying, storming out the Capitol, running away, begging for Miss Diane. And I said what I said, and that's what you get, crybaby. That's exactly what you get. Now, that's what you get. You out of your league. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Every minute of it. So listen, this is what it's called to outwit the devil, child. Outwitting the devil. Angela managed to handily outwit the devil. And that devil on the past few episodes is called Portia Williams. Now, to me, let's get into how I see it. You make a good point about Shamia. To me, I believe Shamia has what we talked about to be prolonged hostility. Prolonged hostility is when you really have an issue with somebody, right? For whatever reason, but you're not confident enough, brave enough, mature enough, emotionally developed or not enough to speak on it. So you hide. Oh, watch it. You hide until the time is right and then you strike. Coward. Cowardly move. Still, there's a formal terminology for it. Write it down. Let me put it in the chat because I don't want no excuses. It's called prolonged hostility. That's when somebody been feeling some kind of way about you. Y'all get what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the real definition. Prolonged, because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Hostility. HOS. Hold on. Prolonged hostility. All right, here we go. And everybody has gone through it, right? But what separates the cream from the boys from the boys from the men is, can you speak on it? One on one. I ain't talking about no gang shit where women like to gang up. I always say women will attack you in packs like a pack of wolves. A lot of women are not confident enough to come knocking on your door, send you a text message, sit you down, put some time on your calendar and say, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?" Now, a lot of them will call you about a lot of other shit, bullshit, gossip, men, office politics, everything else. But except when it's time to be grown, now all of a sudden, don't nobody want to talk. Prolonged hostility refers to a state where individuals experience ongoing, persistent anger, resentment, and distrust towards others, which can have a negative impact on their physical and or mental health. I've been saying for weeks, something ain't right with Shamia. She had a good go. Episode 1, oh girl, the lights, the camera, the action, the smoke and mirrors of it all. We thought she was about to come in here and tear up some shit. We thought she was about to come in here and fuck some shit up. We was ready. We were on the edge of our seats, and we prematurely coined her as the star of the show, the nucleus of the show. Oh, Lord, that's on us. We made a mistake, right? Which could have a negative impact on their physical and or mental health, as well as, watch this, social relationships. It can manifest as cynical hostility, where individuals are quick to react with anger and resentment in stressful situations, or as emotional hostility, where anger is more of a chronic emotional state. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of bitches out here that don't like you. They have prolonged hostility. Maybe you said or did something years ago and they're just waiting. Well, Queen Sheba, how do I know if they take the shot? How I see it, TV said it. She wrote it out. She said Portia isn't perfect. Shamia isn't perfect to Shamia. But Shamia brought this up to the group, then got mad that Portia defended herself. Prolonged hostility. You better read about it. Did she take the shot? Yeah, she took the shot. So friend versus foe. Did the friend take the shot? No. Did the foe take the shot? They ain't never been friends. And it works on both sides of the coin. Neither one of them have probably never been good friends to each other. Let's talk about it. Oh, I told y'all not ready for today's review, the Queen's review. You know what I'm saying? The Queen's recap. It may be a little bit too much. And if so, I'll back up off of it if y'all uncomfortable, if y'all not ready. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think now that we are really getting into the thick of it, I don't know if they've ever been good friends to each other. They may have had a great association. Because what is friendship? I mean, if you really think about it, what are we talking about? What is a good friend to you? But let me continue on because I know I'm about to tick some people off. So here's some other stuff, right? Shamia has prolonged hostility with Portia. I'm not, y'all listen, because some of y'all hear what you want to hear, and you tend to discard the most important parts. I don't think either one of them have been good friends to each other. And I think what happens sometimes, the loudest one in the room, we tend to credit them as being the most honorable, the most loyal, because Shamia came out the box and she coined herself as everybody's best friend. I'm everybody's best friend. I'm Atlanta's best friend. But the more and more we start to peel back the layers, you have your flaws. You ain't necessarily on the up and up. You're hosting conversations about quote unquote your best friend with other people in the group. You ain't went to her. You ain't put a little stank on it like you're doing when you're in front of Angela. And that's why I say maybe neither one of them have been good friends to each other. Okay. I'm not saying Portia is perfect. I'm not saying Shamia is bad. I'm saying it takes two. Now, hold on. I think the real reason there's prolonged hostility, I have two reasons, but I have a third. I'm going to sit on the third for a second. I'm going to pin the third and I may come back to it. I feel the show is the primary reason. For a long time, see, first of all, we didn't know about Shamia until Portia brought her on the show. Okay. I think the show is a primary reason. Oprah Winfrey said something a while back. She said, "You cannot be friends that want the life that you have." Is there a possibility that they've both, at some point in time throughout the friendship, wanted each other's life? Oh, I really want to drop the link right now, but I'm not. Could it be? See, we start now. We're starting here now from what we see now. And we're saying, including me, Shamia, you need to be careful, girl. It looks like, it appears as if Portia wants your life. Back up the cameras. Let's go back a few years when Shamia was a friend of the show. And now what we know now, we didn't know then, and she's always wanted a peach. Could it be that Shamia was just as envious of Portia as we believe Portia is of Shamia now? I'll wait. Mm, mm. I'll wait.
Bruh.
Let me see what y'all are saying. Could it be? Two things can be true at once. Okay. Let me see what y'all talking about. Can I continue? Now that thank you too. Thank you too. I got one amen in the house, but I'm gonna go ahead and preach this sermon by myself. So it can perfect. Now that I'm thinking about it, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral. You get it. I break it down from a different level. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize this show is just as important to Shamia as a friend of the show for all of these years as it has been to Portia. Okay. So that's one reason that there's contention in the friendship. There's some resentment on both sides. I'm going to lean out and say that on both sides. Number one, because of this show, period. For Shamia, it may have been wanting to be on the show and needing her friend to go to bat for her and put in a good word for her many, many years ago. And for Portia, I'm going to get into that. You all in my space. You want what I have. You want a position at my job. You want me to give you a referral at my job. Damn, you can't just sit on the sideline and let me play. Number two, I believe deep down inside, the prolonged hostility may also be related to the fact that deep down inside, let's talk about it, Shamia. You know the truth. When your bestie don't come to your when your bestie does not come to your wedding, okay. So you going to play dumb. You going to play like you're Atlanta's best friend. You going to look over the fact that your best friend did not come to your wedding and still show up every day, kiss, smile, hug, as if that didn't hurt you, that didn't bother you. And you wait years later. How long has she been married to Gerald? All these years, and you wait until you meet a stranger by the name of Angela Oakley and you decide to let her be your confidant? Okay. Okay. Prolonged hostility. Just waiting for a shot. prolonged hostility. My question is this. Your best friend did not come to your wedding. It doesn't matter what the reason was. You knew she should have come. She knew she should have come. What's the real reason your homegirl couldn't stomach you, couldn't see or stand seeing you walk down that aisle? Couldn't even stomach it. Couldn't even get on the plane. Couldn't even pretend. Couldn't even give you a good excuse. Did she fuck Gerald? Look.
I don't want to talk about it.
You just said I'm gonna talk about
Kill
it.
it. I get angry. I don't want to.
Listen, shit happens in life. You'll be shocked. Your homegirl, your day one. We've been knowing each other since what they say, elementary school. Could not get on the plane. Couldn't drag herself out of the bed. Congratulations. I wish it could have been me. Oh, as long as I can breathe, you'll always be the one for me. I'm just saying. That's a question mark, not an affirmative. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. I know a girl that had a male best friend. And she was preparing to go to his wedding. And his wedding was located in Galveston, Texas. She was in Houston, and she said she was going to drive down. And I said, "Who is your date?" She said, "Nobody's my date." I found it really odd. I said, "You going to go all the way down there by yourself?" She said, "Yeah." You know why I asked that? I had no inkling of nothing. Most women just don't do that. Most women don't drive out of town to a wedding by themselves. I didn't say all, I said most. So as a woman, I just naturally said I had concern for her safety, going that far for a wedding and not taking a +1 when she could take a +1. We start to talk a little bit more and more and more. And as she disclosed more information, come to find out she had been fucking this boy for years. Friends with benefits. Snoozied up to his fiance. The fiance didn't know. Passed her off as a sis. That's my best friend in the world. And they had a very extensive sexual relationship. This girl broke down and started crying in front of me because she was so upset that he was marrying that girl. Congratulations. Whoa, whoa, whoa. As long as I can breathe, you'll always be the one for me. It happens. It happens. Which is why my question is, did Portia? I don't know. I'm asking. This girl was tore up behind the wedding and ended up not going. Couldn't believe he was going to marry that girl. And was there the whole time, pretending to be a sister to her big brother. You know what? Y'all not ready. But let's continue real quick, Queen Sheba. Go on, move on. You ain't got to convince them. Okay. That's why I said it happens. And you will never know. There's some people that'll take it to their graves. Okay. But listen, so it's so funny because it's not like, so Angela is literally running circles around these women, picking them off one by one. To me, she's a sharpshooter. She's a sniper. She's trained and armed and ready for combat, period, point blank. Okay. Give a lady her props. She's been around the block a few times. Thank you. She's been around the block a few times. And it's funny to me because it's not like there's a huge age difference between them. I don't know if y'all caught that tea. There's not a huge age difference between them. I don't care. All the way from Britt Edie to Angela. Y'all, there's not a big age difference. Watch this. She's got a few years on some of them, but folks forgot that these are grown women in their 40s. Let me run it down. Britt is 37. Kelly is 40. Shamia is 42. Portia is 43. Angela is 44. I told you. Britt, 37. Kelly is 40. Shamia, 42. Portia, 43. Angela, 44. Just 1 year older than Portia. So you forget about that because it appears that there is a huge age difference. Now, Angela, Charles got you out here looking like real mature. You don't look old, but he got you out here real mature, like, like Mother May I. So don't let his cynical ass take all your glowy youth. Okay. Now back to my original thought. Now that we've level set it and established the age differences in the room on this cast, they're all peers. They're all peers. She's not even 10 years older than Britt Edie. But you forget that. The way Angela's wit, her wisdom, and her sophistication run circles around all of them, she makes them look like children. You begin to refer to them as girls because there seems to be such a gap between their intellect, their wisdom, and their maturity level. But nah, they all right there, step up. You know how they call the kids, they're one step, 40, 42, 43, 44. Damn. Running circles around them makes them look like kids you think they were, especially Portia and Shamia. Now, let me go to Kelly real quick because I'm starting to not really enjoy the scenes. Not to be confused what I don't like. I just kind of fast forward through Britt's scenes. I can't even with Britt. And Kelly, I got 1 foot out the door. My bags are packed. I'm about to break up with you. Now, I did like the scene of Kelly with her children. I feel like she's more grounded and likable when she's with her kids. It's just something about her that comes across a little bit more genuine and warm when she's with her kids. And I feel like the kids may humble her in a way, and in the positive, right? Because we really get to see her interact with her children. Kelly said that she came from a 7,000 square foot home when she and her husband were married, and she's in this townhouse now. Now, my thing was, I got curious. I was like, well, what does her husband do for a living? So I had to research. Now, Kelly, you got some, I ain't gonna even say explaining. I'm gonna get hood. You got some planning to do because I see that man. That means you're not what you posing to be. You may have had an humble beginning, a humble start. And I found some pictures of before and after, and I'm not going to share them because I don't want it to seem like I'm dogging her out. That's not the kind of time I'm on. But you've come a long way. That's why I said just keep it real. All of this posing and fakery stuff, I don't like it. Just be who you are. And you actually do better with your kids in your scenes with your kids than you do and come across the screen with the other ladies. Overall, it was a cool scene with the kids. I feel like, Kelly, that's your ticket to the show. That's a good playground for you to stay in. Your relationships with your kids seems to be genuine, and your kids are not camera shy. Their personalities are cute. If I was you, I would lean all the way into my Teresa Giudice. I would use my girls to help carry me on the show, like Teresa Giudice used Gia and all of her girls to carry her. And guess what? She's handing the torch. So you have something. If you quit rejecting your reality, you got something. Pageant Mommy says the assumption is that the most gregarious is the villain, but that is not necessarily true. I agree. If she would just lean into her truth, Queen Sheba, I'm about to drive and listen to you through the speakers. Keep going. Okay, I got you. I got you, Jasmine. Thank you. Now, let's move on from Kelly. That's all. And that was positive. I did good, didn't I? All right, I want to go to Shamia. Child. I want to go to Shamia. Child, it's giving hood rich. Gator suits with the pimped out Gucci boot. That's what it's given. Shamia is actually the girl with the most money, but to me, like, she kind of dresses like the tackiest one of them most of the time. Imagine that. The girl with the most money, but the tackiest one. Okay? Way too much. Way too much. It's given Shamia J. Blige. It really is. Mary in the 90s. It's giving Shamia J. Blige. It's giving real love. I'm searching for a real love. That's what it is. That's all. When she got out that car and she was walking, I didn't know she was walking to meet Ralph. That's the first thing that came to my mind. It's too much. And it's not giving African Prince. It's not giving I'm sitting in a $9 million house. Shamia, you know what I would like to see you in? Where I think you would probably, beautiful girl, right? Beautiful woman. But I think you would probably translate better in some cute pants, cute blouses, cute, yet timeless, like heels, less gaudy belts, less gaudy necklaces, and some nice, neat, clean diamonds. Come on, Shamia. Come on, you mother Africa. You mother Africa. You are married to a traditional African a man from Kenya. You are mother Africa. Why are you trying to give us BAPS? You giving us BAPS. Y'all know that movie. That's all I'm saying. What are you doing? And I kind of wonder if she dresses like that to stay attached to where she came from. I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Could it be subconscious that you dressing like that from the hood because you don't ever want to act like you're more than what you are? You're not trying to give out that you think you better than what you are. Girl, it's okay to level up. You got the means and the resources to do so. Tone it down, but step it up at the same time. If you get what I'm saying, you can tone it down and step it up. And sometimes people struggle with blessings. And I'm wondering if that's the case with Shamia. Something is just not landing. And I was like, is she struggling with where she is in life? Like, is she kind of feeling like, I don't really deserve this subconsciously? Because it happens. People have guilt from being blessed. Okay. And I don't know. I keep thinking about that, But anywho, I feel like, Shamia, there's nothing that you should be chasing. You got it all. What are you trying to prove? You got the man, you got the house, you got the money, you have the time, you have the help, you have the assistant, you have the surrogates. You have been blessed in so many ways that most women could never. So I don't understand the struggle. I do, but I don't. And that's why I said in my last segment that I feel like she has this dark cloud hanging over her and she seems to come across as heavy. And although she's able to adorn herself on the outside with all of these nice pieces, right? Things that we like to look at, it's not transmuting to the inside. It's not transmuting to what's coming out of the inside. Shamia got out of that car with them tacky ass Connect 4 boots on. Y'all, am I lying? When she called herself being messy and meeting up with Ralph. Let's talk about this meetup. It was a mess. So she meets up with Ralph. And the first thing I thought when he started talking, I said, Ralph, let me find out you've been over here spying on the palace. The palace is us. Talking about you want to call your podcast Kings and Queens. I always say, well, welcome, kings and queens. I'm kidding, right? Let me find out your ass and been over here. And you said, well, I can't call it the palace, so I'm gonna just take kings and queens from Queen Sheba. No, sir. Go on back to Atlanta, stay out the palace. Okay. That's it. That's all. But listen, I find it ironic that Drew is being ostracized by Portia for having a record deal with Dennis. Which sometimes, right, if you're working with your producer, it's going to require a meetup. But Shamia sees no problem meeting up with Ralph on some get back type shit for her homegirl Portia. Y'all crazy. Y'all be windmilling for people that wouldn't, you know what? Shut up, Queen Sheba. Okay. So she on some get back type shit on the behalf of Portia. So she takes the lead to meet up with Ralph. Okay. You did all that windmilling for Portia, only for her to deny you thrice. Thrice. 1, 2, 3, like Peter denied Jesus. Portia has denied you thrice. Period. You did all that windmilling. Portia let you do her dirty work, and Portia discarded you. Portia damn near had you in tears on your interview with that dose of rejection that she delivered to you. You couldn't even get through your Watch What Happens Live. That's your moment. That's what I'm talking about. Portia has single-handedly figured out how to mind fuck you, how to mind blank you. You won't watch What Happens Live and can't keep your composure behind Portia. This is your time to shine. You here. Started from the bottom. Now I'm here. That's your time. Fuck Portia. Do your interview. Talk to Andy. Get your foot on solid ground. Remember where you are. Be where your feet are, in the room with Andy Cohen. Portia living rent-free all up in your head. You can't even show up and score a touchdown for yourself. Portia has done a number on you. Y'all, am I lying? Y'all saw her on Watch What Happens Live. Did you not see her break down and cry? Do you not see when she go to interviews, she say, I want that old thing back? It's almost like she has no identity outside of Portia. And I want to know why. What's really going on? And I'm not even talking about that. What's really going on? What type of emotional hold does Portia have on you? That's all I'm saying. She could not perform or function at Watch What Happens Live. They say she broke down during the break. She got herself together, came back on camera, and still couldn't stop the tears. And maybe it is true friendship, but there's a little bit of imbalance, it seems to be, in this relationship with you and Portia, which is why I keep saying there is something with Shamia. She's coming across as really heavy, really heavy. Like there's this dark cloud over her, okay? So anywho, she's sitting there. She's leaning in, windmilling for Portia, but ends up getting denied thrice. Portia's letting you do her dirty work, have you in tears. Stand down, Shamia. But you saying too much about stand down. When you're going to stand down, you don't have to warn anybody, y'all. You ain't got to say a word. Just stand down. Portia took your breakout season. She exploited. This was your season. This is your moment. Portia took your breakout season, Sweet 16, and is exploiting you on national television. She's doing exactly what enemies do, not what friends do. That's all I'm saying. She's doing what enemies do, reminding you to stay in your dark-skinned place. I'm done. Portia is low-key reminding you to stay in your dark-skinned place.
Oh my God.
She ain't gotta say it. It's evident. It's written. It's written. The writing is on the wall. I'm done. I can log off right now and I can say that because I'm a dark-skinned girl. Portia's reminding you, don't you ever, without saying it. Okay? Stand down. Portia smacking your hand, I believe, because you had the audacity to really think that you're going to come on this show and shine, and I'm going to let you shine freely. Girl, please. She's letting you know. That's why she set your ass up and invited you to that pamper party, only to humiliate you in front of all of those women. A public humiliation. Ambushed you. Best friend. Portia's a saboteur. She's not the only one wrong in this because Shamia is a volunteer. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And if you're not careful, you may lose that marriage running behind Portia in these streets. Yeah. Be very careful because I feel like you giving more to Portia emotionally than you probably given to Gerald. But let me say this. So Shamia and Ralph, they meet up, y'all, under the guise of a podcast meeting. Come on now. This is one of those meetings that could have or should have been an email or a phone call. Y'all see the fuckery in this? Y'all don't see what's happening? What they're up to? This could have been a phone call and or an email. But of course, we know that's not why they are really there, but they're going to lay it out. They want to dog out Drew. Period. That's it. That's all. To be such a beautiful woman, Shamia, and have such a nasty attitude, you have a bite. You have a chip on your shoulder when it comes to other women. And in particular, I'm talking about Angela and I'm talking about Drew. She said ain't nothing wrong with her meeting with Ralph because she did a podcast with Ralph 3 years ago. So she has the right to meet with Ralph. And it's so obvious to me at this point as I'm watching, I'm talking about child, Portia orchestrated this plot. She assigned Shamia to take point, and Shamia, that's why they're referring to you as a lapdog. Portia sent you out to collect the wheat from the fields. That's all I'm saying. Portia sending you out to do the laborious task while she stays inside as the house nigga and sits back in the air and eat her bonbons, talk to Mama Diane, and you go out and you pick the cotton fields. That's all I'm saying. You go do the hard stuff. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to keep my hands clean. I'm going to put you on point. Got it? Got it. Okay. All right. That's all I'm saying. People refer to you as the lapdog, whether it's true or not, because you out here doing tricks for Portia. You allow Portia to finesse you into setting up this meeting on her behalf. And then you actually allowed her to finesse you into showing up first before her so that she doesn't get any blood on her hand. Y'all, come on, y'all. You can clearly see that the code word. Did y'all not pick up on that? Portia. Because as soon as Ralph said, so is Drew still working with Portia? Oh, hi there. Did somebody say Portia? Oh my God, I didn't know you were coming. So Portia, all of a sudden, I was like, Lord have mercy. Portia all of a sudden enters the scene, right? Code word Portia. Child. But low key, watch this. Watch this. You can really tell. I want y'all to follow me. Low key, you can really tell the value in a woman, in the heart of a woman, by how low she's willing to go. Okay, Queen Sheba, let's make sure we following you. Don't judge a woman on her good day. Don't pay attention to what we do on our good days, because we all operate at a high level when we're feeling good. But the value of a woman truly can be observed when she's not feeling good. Look at how she behaves on Mad Day. So Portia and Shamia being at that restaurant. No, let me finish, Kat. Portia and Shamia being at that restaurant with Ralph is Mad Day. Is Mad Day. And what this tells me is that Shamia and Portia really don't have respect for other women's husbands. They have no issue with other women's husbands. They see no problem with it. You meeting up with Ralph. Why? That's that woman's husband. I don't give a damn what they're going through. People separate all the time and get back together all the time. Stay out. Dennis is a baby daddy. Simon was a husband that Portia shook his hand, barely looked him in his eye, and played like she didn't know him. Same energy. Same energy. And let me tell you this. The same energy that a dog uses to play, he uses to fight. A dog's tail is wagging when he's fighting and biting. Did you not know that? Quit playing with me. Quit playing. Y'all didn't know that? Watch when dogs attack and look at his tail. It's wagging. It's the same energy, same reservoir. That's all I'm saying. Portia and Shamia have no respect for other women's husbands. We're talking about a husband, not a baby daddy. We're talking about a very tender situation. Portia's not even willing to put her separation on the table, her divorce on the table. And she went and met up with Ralph. You know why? Because she's pissed off at Drew. No respect. And most women, when they want to fuck you up and really get in your head, I'm going to go after your heart. What's the heart of a woman? Her husband. His fidelity. His love for her. Stand up for me sometimes. Why you taking up for her? We've seen Angela do it. We've seen Charles talk to Angela crazy. Most women want to know that their husband is their protector, their provider. It don't matter if it's on bad day. I need you to show up every day for me consistently. Yeah, you want to hurt a woman, go after her husband. Say something. You ain't even got to try to sleep with him. You can talk shit about him. Watch how she reacts if she really loves him. You can mess her up. And Portia's doing that to be mean. She's doing it to be mean. That's all I'm saying. That was very cold. Shamia took point. Shamia had no problem taking charge and hurting another woman. That's all I'm saying. I know it's for entertainment, but I want you to look at the bigger picture. I want you to look at the bigger picture. And you can clearly see how cold of a move that was. That was very cold. So Portia comes frolicking in. And like I said, don't pay attention to how people treat you when they feeling good. Pay attention to how they treat you when they're not feeling so good, okay? Now, I want to talk about affairs really quickly. Because Portia, the more she drank, the more flirty she became. Y'all missed that part. The more she drank, the more flirty she became. Couple of glasses of Hennessy, she was ready. Now, here's this. Affairs do not start by jumping straight into bed. Not normally. That's not how affairs start. And I'm not saying she and Ralph have an affair. That's not what I'm saying. But just listen to me. They don't start by just a man and a woman jumping into bed. Affairs is something that people work their way into. And usually it starts with conversation, meetups, talking, venting, etc., comparing notes. Oh, that shit happened to you? La, la, la. Which is why Portia was very, very suspicious of Drew having Dennis as her confidant. Not so much because she understood, because she would have done it. Maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't have. But that's how affairs start. Bonding on commonalities. That's why Portia had a hard time. And Dennis ain't even her husband. Because she know what that could lead to if you establish an emotional connection by way of conversation. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to bring y'all back. Y'all got to peep the play that's being laid out on the table, on the screen in front of us. Now, Shamia justified it because she said, I used to work with you. She justified being able to meet up with Ralph because she said, I used to work with you. I have every right to be able to meet up with you. That's still somebody's husband. Now, what if I used to work with Gerald at the airport and I feel just as justified because I work with him? Y'all kill me. Some of you women really confuse me. When you feel like you have the audacity, the same rights as a wife. Yeah, I have just as much of a right to your husband as you do because I worked with him. That's hoe shit. And hoes do what? Hoes do hoe shit. Just watch a woman, how she behaves when she's mad, or when you've told her no, or when you've decided to go your separate ways. That's the true character. Surprise, surprise. That's the real right there. That's it. That's all. And let me go to Portia. So Portia comes in, and in her confessional, she wants to make sure that we know as the viewing audience, because you got to remember, she's done this show season after season. She's a vet. She's smart. So she said, this is not tit for tat. She want to make sure she puts out that disclaimer, right? Shamia, you messy as hell. After I watched the way this meeting went down, now supposedly Portia's there as a character witness for Shamia, because then they pan back to Shamia's confessional. She said, I can meet with Ralph if I want to, but I invited Portia because I don't want to be accused of being his Miss Tampa. So Portia is there as a character witness for Shamia. Before I go on, what restaurant are they at? Listen, I may have to pull up because that food looked good, and Portia, your earrings were really cute. Okay, I had to say that real quick. Y'all, let me know what restaurant they were at, because next time I go to Atlanta, I'm going to go over there and eat. That food looked real good. Now, Portia, y'all, she's the kind of girl that's going to get her lick back. Portia, the kind of girl that would get her lick back with your husband just on GP, and not because she wants him, not because she wants to be his wife, not because she wants to be his woman. Portia doesn't view, you know what, Queen Sheba, don't say it. I don't think Portia necessarily does things or do things because she wants the man. It may be about the chase. It could be about the adrenaline rush for her. That's all I'm saying. Now check this out. She's there as a character witness for Shamia, but she pulls out her phone to expose the text between her and Dennis about Drew. Right? Put it out there. Let me throw out some tea on Drew, whether it's true or not. Let me just put it out here on that, not only in front of Ralph, but in front of the world. And then let me play Captain Save-A-Ho by saying, well, not all rumors are true, Ralph, because there's rumors out here about you. Portia is a fucking narcissist, in my opinion, allegedly. I know we don't talk about female narcs a lot. Portia is crazy as a bedbug, in my opinion. Portia, listen, beautiful one, beautiful, but just as crazy as a bed bug. No loyalty to nobody. She had Ralph confused. Wait a minute, you just gave me the scoop on Drew trying to F Dennis. Yeah, but not all rumors are true. Then what are we here for? What are we here for? What are we doing? And I like Portia, but Portia, stop playing in our face. I like Portia when she's not being toxic. Now she's saying that Drew is talking about her child. Girl, what in the switcheroo is going on? Because you really trying to dig this hole for Drew. She is really making sure that Drew does not become a fan fave. And then I kind of got disgusted about like just them ganging up on Drew. And I was like, really, Portia? Really, Shamia, Ralph? It takes all three of y'all to take this girl down. Y'all really finna stomp on her while she's down. And Portia, I thought you was there for emotional support and as a character witness. But it's clear that y'all trying to help this man in this divorce. They are. They're trying to help this man in this divorce. And Portia, you going through a divorce yourself, but we don't hear nothing about it. Okay. All right. Bet. What goes around comes around. They are really trying to air this girl out on national television. And guess what, y'all? I'm going to make it make sense. It's all over Dennis. This is happening to Drew because of Dennis. Because Portia still wants Dennis. Portia's mad behind Dennis. All of this is happening. And it comes down to Dennis the Menace. Make no mistakes about it. Kenya Moore said it in episode 1 when they said, is it about the recording or is it about the man? Clearly, Kenya said, clearly it's about the man. See, that's why we need, that's why we need more women in the room. Portia still wants Dennis. Portia still wants Dennis. That's it. That's all. And that's why she's moving the way she does towards Drew. Because she wants Dennis. I can't stand the weak ones. And then Shamia starts to talk. And then she said, I ain't got no beef with Drew. What? I jumped back from the TV. And that's why I was like, I can't stand weak ass women. I cannot stand. You ain't got no beef with her, but you gonna gang up on her? You gonna lead the charge? Are you kidding me? This is crazy to me. That's what I started thinking. And then I had to remember, Queen Sheba, why are you surprised? You know, insecure dogs will bite you. You know an insecure dog will bite. You ain't got no problem with Drew, but you clicking up with her husband to take her down with your messy ass. That's it. I just want to give y'all a different perspective. Ain't got no problem with her. None. You see how women do stuff just to fit in? You ain't did shit to him. Ain't said nothing. Drew ain't did nothing to that lady. Ain't said nothing out the way. But I'm going to still help your husband against you in your divorce because I'm insecure about how my best friend is treating me. And because I can't bite her, I'm going to bite you. Insecure dogs bite. Shamia, you're weak as hell. And the reason why I call her weak is because her real problem is with the top dog. Your real problem is with Portia. And then if we go to next in charge, you got a problem with Angela. Your real problem is with the alpha females in the room, but you can't bite them because they bite back. You like picking on poodles. Y'all know the story with the poodle. You like picking on poodles. Listen, your real problem is with Portia, but you can't bite her. And then second in line, your problem is with Angela. But she knows she's out of her league when it comes to Angela. She knows she's gonna have to go toe to toe if she try to charges up Angela. So what she do? She go bite the little poodle because Angela likes the poodle. That's Angela's dog. You get what I'm saying? Y'all will catch on later. That's it. That's all. Shamir, you're not woman enough to sit next to Angela with your scary ass, and damn near not woman enough to sit next to Portia. Do not confuse my commentary with Shamir not being enough. Shamir is not enough because she don't think she's enough. She's afraid of Portia, and she's intimidated by Angela. Okay, insecure dogs bite. She doesn't have any reason to be afraid or intimidated, but that's how she's showing up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. with your scary ass. And everything you attract by way of negative energy, Shamia, you've attracted to yourself. You got to accept that accountability. Portia don't give a damn about you. Let me just say it. Portia does not give a damn about you. Portia probably never wanted you on this show anyway. Pause on that. Yes, she did, Queen Sheba. She said she put her on the list. And my name was on the list. But my name was on the list. I said what I said. Portia probably never wanted you on the show anyway as a full-time wife. And you were seeing the repercussions of that, best friend. But you ignored your intuition. And now she's showing you in real time and clowning you down like a joke in front of Ralph. Because not only did she get you at that pamper party, she scolded you in front of Ralph. She one-upped you in front of Ralph. Watch this. She didn't even have enough respect for you, best friend, to wait until the man leaves the table. See, I'm a Southern girl. I don't believe in talking women's business in front of men. It ain't none of their damn business, which is why a lot of times I don't answer the phone when people call me in front of my husband. Girl, wait till I'm on my way to the store. I'm taking a road trip so we can really get in and talk like we want to talk. Okay? Portia laid you down in front of Ralph. It became uncomfortable for Ralph, best friend. Portia ain't feeling you. She's done with you now that she's used you. You set up the meeting. It's your meeting. She don't look bad. You orchestrated this with Ralph. You leaned all the way in. She came in, dropped some receipts, saved the day, and left your ass looking like boo-boo the fool at that table. Left you looking like boo-boo the fool at that damn table. And that's why I don't feel no ways about how Angela had her ass crying after that tennis match. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Portia used you. Portia is the puppet master when it comes to you. It ain't nothing you can say or do. And I know Cynthia tried to explain on the after show. If y'all go and watch shows sometimes if you have time, well, sometimes you got to be careful with using words because they can stick. No, it's not sticking. The behavior is sticking. Stand up, Shamia. Stand up. I'm going to be honest with you. I was talking to a friend. I say that I can't really say what I want sometimes on YouTube and Twitter. Thank y'all for pulling up because people may get mad at me. But if the truth be told, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Portia treats you like crap because you're the dark-skinned girl. I'm not calling Portia a colorist. That's not what I'm saying. But Portia has been brought up in a way where she recognizes where she sits on the food chain, on the platform, in the hierarchy. And Portia recognizes that she gets to eat first in her head. And then you are the help to her, always have been. You just got money to help you out. I'm telling you how a girl like Portia, how them kind look at you. You just got money. You just pulled up where you can buy a decent pair of shoes. Portia looking at you like Mama Joyce was looking at Carmen when she accused of Carmen of getting Candy's hand-me-downs. Women like Portia look at you as a hand-me-down. Women like Miss Diane be in their daughter's ears about, yeah, child, we done helped her, Portia done helped her out. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da. It's all kind of conversations that be happening sometimes when your daughter from childhood is deemed as the ugly duckling. Or as in the South, they say, haven't grown into their looks. Let's talk about it. You see what I'm saying? That's what Miss Diane was saying. Watch her. When she was saying watch her, what she was saying is now she got a little money now. She can go and get this done and get this work done. Watch her now. That one you got to watch. That's what she meant. See, Portia been out in these streets for a long time and couldn't come up on a $9 million house. Now we got to watch Shamia. Because now she can compete with you. Now she's finally in the same room as you are by way of the men. Let's talk about it that you're both sleeping with. Oh, what you mean by that, Queen Sheba? I mean, if we take everything away, they're both on the same level. It's an equal playing field. Okay, if you take the men out of the equation and you look at them as single women, I would probably believe that Portia believes her advantage is her looks. But other than that, credentials the same, probably, even when they not the same. I'm telling you how women like Portia think. I'm prettier than you, so your degree don't matter. I'm prettier than you. Nobody cares that you dance with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm still prettier than you. I'm more desirable aesthetically. I'm not saying Portia said this, y'all. I'm saying girls like Portia, and this is what I believe I'm picking up. And then all of a sudden, you get you a Gerald, and then you introduce me to a Simon. Okay, okay, okay. You're somewhat on my level now. You're somewhat on my level. Cool, cool, cool. Now all of a sudden, my shit gets turned inside out. My world gets flipped upside down. People find out I'm married to a scammer. I ain't who I said I was. Oh shit. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Don't talk about my divorce on camera. I'm not having no serious conversations with you. And not only that, I'm about to make you the fucking problem. I'm about to make you the tag along. I'm about to start a fight with you because you said that I didn't want you on this show. I always wanted you on this show. I just didn't think your husband was going to film. And then you said that I didn't come to your wedding. And then now you mad at me because I was late to your birthday party and I disrupted it. I'm going to make you the fucking problem because I can. Stay in your place when it comes to me. I'm just saying. Vanessa said, Queen Sheba done cracked the Jesus code. I'm just saying, y'all better know who you with and how they truly feel about you. And you effing around and you find it out. And the crazy part is it took you 12 years to be a slave to finally catch on that Portia really don't like you and neither does her mama. Y'all know some of y'all have been raised with mamas that felt like that little girl you was playing with. She really didn't like her to come over her house, but maybe that little girl was smart and sweet and kind and made good grades and you didn't, but the mama still felt like, her child is better than yours, but I'm going to tolerate this child because she has accolades and she's mannerable and she's nice, but she ain't no looker. I'm talking about the Southern ways of it all. And then that little girl, and they just kind of tolerate you. You know, the child's not a threat. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hi, Miss Diane. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You know, oh, y'all really don't want me to say it. It's like Beyonce tolerating Kelly. It's like Beyonce tolerating Kelly. Miss Tina referring to Kelly as her other daughter. I'm not, listen, go do listen. Bye. Oh, Lordy. Let me move on. Do y'all know Kelly's story? Allegedly. Kelly was a little dark girl that was in a group. Mama crackhead. Miss Tina saved the day, took her in, cleaned her up. You know what? I'm not going to play with y'all today. Y'all not. Okay. All right. Kelly's a beautiful woman. Shamia's gorgeous. But some stuff can mess up your self-esteem. If you always have been talked to or spoken to like you're a handout or somebody has done you a favor by opening up their home to you, allowing their daughter to play with you. Y'all, come on now. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Everything. Now, they ain't said it, but you're introduced as Queen Sheba's little friend. Deborah Lewis is, that's her little friend. That's next, that's her little friend. That's Miss Mabel's foster child. Yeah, we gonna take her in. And everybody in the church know your business as a little kid, that you're allowed to sleep over because your mama on drugs, or you're allowed to sleep over because of this and that. Y'all, that ain't no friend. Never have been. Y'all get it? Thank you, Jay. Jay said, no, I get it. And before you know it, as a little child, you've been hearing that all the time. Hi, Miss Diane. And you never have felt equal to their child, not because of you, but because what you've heard and how you've been introduced all of the years as a child. That's Portia's little friend. Now, I'm not saying Miss Diane introduced her like that, but I'm just telling you, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Portia ain't never had to be your damn friend. Ever since she was a little girl. You just didn't know it. Portia ain't never had to lean in for you. Ever since you was a little girl. You had to prove yourself and demonstrate your worth as a little girl in order to be allowed to play with Portia. Poor relation? That's fine. But that's what I'm saying. I say what y'all be thinking. I say that happens a lot in Black neighborhoods, Black communities. Blossom and Elevate says, you're saying all the right thoughts. These girls think, yes, both Kelly and Shamia are gorgeous. Absolutely. But see, sometimes as a woman, it don't even hit you. What am I trying to prove? And you don't even realize that, oh shit, I've been introduced as if I'm a foster child all the life on their side of the family. That's why Shamia say, I've always been a good friend. We've always been, yeah. But that's not how the family looked at you necessarily, or may have viewed you. I do. And Nicole says, Queen, you cut deep, profound. But it's real life. It happens all the time with little kids. You'll hear parents say, oh, I picked up her little friend. And then, and then they'll drop them off. Yeah, she live in the projects. Ain't that sweet? My daughter or my son plays with him. I teach them that people are people. They're saying this, but they really don't think your child is equal to theirs. That's all I'm saying. They think it's nice and kind. They've taught their children to be very nice to people that don't have as much. You didn't qualify probably to Miss Diane until you met or married Gerald, which is why Portia subconsciously worked so hard to snatch it away from you, her and Phaedra, by calling you a lesbian or insinuating that you were sleeping with Candy. It's not the fact that you were sleeping with Candy, right? Y'all don't understand the psychology of it. That's an insult in the African culture. That's an insult in the African culture. You would have been deemed not good enough, even for Gerald and his culture, to be married, because you would be defiled, not only by a man, but by a woman. That's why they started that rumor about you. Portia was working overtime to make sure. She was making sure. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to open up the lines. I ain't going to even finish. That's a huge insult. Thank you, PSM. Huge insult to put that out there. And Shamia said it. Andy asked her on Watch What Happened. I'm only talking about it because Shamia said it. Y'all better go do your homework. This just happened. Watch What Happened live last week. She damn near broke down. She said, he said, how do you feel about Phaedra coming back to the show? She said, I was nervous because the last time I encountered Phaedra, it was so controversial, I could have lost my engagement. My engagement was on the line because of the rumors they were saying about me. And she's talking about with Candy. They knew what they was doing. Phaedra, Portia, all of them been chasing these years. They've been chasing these Africans for years. And you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me? Hold on. Shamia got one before we did? I know you lie. So we've been working trying to catch an African. Watch this. We've been trying to catch an African for years, and she caught one and we didn't? Oh, hell no.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
That's all I'm saying. Simone Wealthy, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts?
Good afternoon, Queen. Honey, honestly, I'm at a loss for words because you said you laid it all out and made it plain. I think it is a deep, deep insecurity of Shamia, of being, and I think she's beautiful, but obviously Portia is more fair skinned. And I think that whole dynamic that you brought, that example, that is spot on, because to be that big age and still insecure and have what she has, it is deep rooted in her, because there's no way Portia should still be a close friend to her coming on the show, especially after everything that happened, mainly with the whole fake bull crap. So, but everything, I'm at a loss for words because you laid out everything. That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. And I still feel Shamia is insecure about that whole situation. And I understand the loss of a good friendship. They've been friends since they were young girls. But I think, especially Miss Diane, has always put in Portia's head, you're better than her. You look better than her. We just keep her around as a little lap dog to, help you out here and there. But when they started getting older and dating and all of those things, I think Miss Diane put in her head, you are better than her. You go out and get a Cardell, quote unquote, a Cardell. You're better than her. So you deserve a quote unquote, a Gerald. You're better than her. You look better than her. I think it's a lot to do with it. I mean, honestly, Miss Diane is a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? But typically a woman of her age, I mean, she's like a sex kitten. I mean, I don't know any other way to. I'm not hating on her. I think she looks good, but if she's looking like this now and carries herself wearing the Fashion Nova stuff now, what you think she was doing when she was younger? I think she's put in Portia's head, you're better, especially better than a dark skinned looking short Shamia. But everything else you said, I agree with. I, I'm
I
glad
think
I'm not the
I
only
think
one that
I think
thinks.
Miss Diane may. Okay, so how long has Shamia been married, y'all?
I think she said close to how old is the baby girl, the oldest girl? She got
Mm,
married
eight.
she got pregnant right away.
Well, that's expected in African culture.
So about 8 or 9 years. I think they've been together maybe 10, probably married 9.
They say 8 years. I got 8 coming through. Let me see if I have anything. We got 9. So we got 10. So 8, 9, 10. The average is 8.5, I think, or 7.5. Somewhere between 8 to 9. Okay.
Hmm.
So Shamia is every mother's dream, most mothers' dreams. Look
Absolutely.
how listen, man, this is beautiful, right? But here's the
Hmm.
thing, ladies, some of y'all don't even know y'all's worth, and you still trying
Hmm.
to hold on to these. Remember, I said I wonder subconsciously, Simone, if Shamia is trying to hold on to a past, you got to let Portia go.
Yes. Yeah, she should have been let Portia go. She should be an associate at this point. Now, coming onto the show, they would have had to interact, but I would never consider her a close friend. So that is a fault of Shamia. At this point, can't blame Portia. We got to blame Shamia because she should have
Yeah,
dropped her ass
I
10
agree.
years ago. She should have dropped her ass 10 years ago. And I think what's saving Shamia and the blessings and the grace that she has covering her is her mother. I think her mother is a sincere, good woman, a good Christian woman, and I think she's poured into her daughters. Just looking at them interact on her YouTube, I think that has really, really helped
Hmm.
Shamia grow. Especially professionally and personally. But I think unfortunately that whole portion of that she should be able to take anything off of a friend just because they've known each other since they were kids. That's BS. Because I went through some, not very similar, but a similar situation in terms of letting go of a friendship that me and my former best friend since hell,
Hold on.
childbirth.
Okay, because so they're saying they've been married. Some people are saying 8, 9, and 10. We got 3 different time zones. And I see you, Jess. I'm about to bring you up. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, um, see, Shamia is most you would be proud of your daughters, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Not because you're married. And if you think about the humble beginnings that
Hmm.
Shamia has come from and her mother probably have come from, you're looking at your daughter and you're so proud of this beautiful butterfly. Watch this. Look at the 2 separate conversations that were going on in the 2 separate households. You have Portia and her mama, and then you have Shamia and her mom. Miss Diane was basically saying, don't trust her.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Shamia's mom was fostering friendship, fostering conversation, and healing between the 2. You
And
get
I
what I'm
think that's a
saying?
fault, but that's
Hold
a
on.
fault of being a perfect Christian.
I
That
don't
is a
think I
fault.
don't think it's Christianity. I think a lot of it, in some aspects, is when you have humble beginnings too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you have to go listen to the last live they did with the mother and the sister. They were all cooking. I learned a lot from that dynamic. They had some humble beginnings, but they really had I think, a good wholesome
Right.
family, 2-parent household
But
life.
a lot of humble beginnings push most Black people to cling for dear life to God. Most.
Hmm.
And that's neither here nor there,
Right.
and they have a lot of them have the strongest faith because they've had the least or the lesser of the resources. That's all I'm saying.
No,
And I'm
I get it,
you
but
get
I'm
what I'm saying?
saying No,
Let
I
me go
get no, I totally understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that same aspect is
to.
her mother should have been telling her, drop her. You love her from
Yes.
afar, forgive her, but drop her. Don't have her close to you. Don't have her up in your house with your husband. Don't be around her. That I think that should have been said too. But she's a pastor, so you know that's
Let
what it
me.
is. What it is.
I'm gonna
I'm
go to
sorry.
Jess. Hold on,
Okay.
Simone. Jess, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I noticed something in this episode when it came to that dinner that Shamia was saying that she's not sure why Angela forgave Portia, but she's still mad at her. And so one thing that kind of hit me is that like I think that Shamia like there's this part of her that is she could have all the things in the world, but she also desires to also have fame, and I think that that is a flaw of hers where she wants to be liked by everyone. And I do think that they have sort of like a Joan and Tony dynamic. And I can't really tell who's who. I think they kind of like switch places in a way where it's like she kind of sees herself as the more wholesome one between her and Portia. So it's kind of a thing where she's probably used to Portia being on the outs and kind of being like that savior that sort of can explain whatever's going on with her and all that. And so it's like she's feels really, really bothered by being like, being disliked in a way.
What you just said, you got me to thinking back to an interview that I did with the lady Michelle Loud. Are y'all familiar with Michelle Loud? For those of you that are tuned in, and the controversy. If not, I'll bring you up to speed.
Okay.
Michelle Loud is the young lady that accused TD Jakes' daughter, Cora Jakes, of stealing her baby.
Oh.
Go check out. I got two. It's a 2-part interview I did, and I traveled to her and I did the interview, and they've been friends since childhood,
Wow.
since they were little girls. They met in the church. Cora is the preacher's daughter.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
However, Michelle is a looker, very pretty girl, has always been stunning since she was a little girl. Come to find out, she said TD Jakes' wife. What's that lady's name? Miss
Sarita?
Yes. She said when they were teenagers, Miss Sarita made her feel the dirtiest. They were
I remember that.
You remember that interview? She said
Yes.
they were on their way to prom. And TD Jakes has always been like a father to all of them. And they had all of these other girls that were their friends, right? That
Yeah.
come from lesser than what the Jakes girls would come from. And maybe their moms didn't have as much money or whatever, but the Jakes allowed these girls to play with their daughters, and they remained friends throughout childhood and coming up through church, and they would go to the house and have dinners. When they became teenagers and it was time to go to prom, the Jakes sent out the cars, picked up the girls. They came to the Jakes' home and their property to take the photos for prom. And she said, they've been around the Jakes since they were younger little girls, and they all got together to take the picture, and he was in the middle, and all of the girls were around, and she leaned her head over like a father to put her head on his shoulder. And she said before she knew it, Miss Sarita bust through the door and came running outside and said, "Get your hands off my husband, you Jezebel."
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Get your hands off my husband, you Jezebel. Watch this. Said it to a child, a
Whew.
teenager.
Oh my
This girl
God.
was not sexually active, never had sex, had never been made to feel like there was something wrong with her for being a beautiful woman. But guess who resented her that entire time?
The
Mom.
mother.
The mama.
Mhm.
People can have your kids in their house for years upon years. She said she was shocked. Everybody else laughed about it. Lauren, Mama Diane, everybody else laughed about
Yeah.
it. Nobody said anything. They went to prom. The girls came back to the house to get ready to, change into their PJs and have a slumber party. And Miss Sarita said, "You have to leave my house," called a car, and sent her home at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
psychology of it all, how you can be around somebody and think you are their friend, but their family, the mama, whomever, really don't like you because she feels like they're better than you.
Yes.
Food change.
Yep.
We're better. We're doing you a favor because you
Yep.
come from here, the other side of the tracks. Doesn't matter how achieved, how accomplished you are. We're better. You get what I'm saying, Jess?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I feel like people miss the fact that a lot of times mothers do this, and people, of course, everyone loves their moms and all that. But it's like we have to realize that whenever it's a red flag, whenever there's no tangible reason for them to feel this way about the person. And I've definitely been through that with a longtime friend. And it was sort of a situation where it's like, I lose weight. And then she tells the daughter, she says, you need to make them lose weight. So you need to help them. And I said, oh, they look good the way they are. Affirming my friends. She says, oh, you don't want them to pass you or look better than you. And so that's what she said. And for me, it always stuck with me that she said that. And so I realized that a lot of times, like, there's little things, there's little competition that they do and all that. And that's so, and I remember like there'll be times like wherever we'd go to hang out and then their mom would hide their key.
Mm.
And so I would just be like, okay, I'll just come over and pick it all up. And so this stuff happened all the way into adulthood. And so that's when it was like, that was like the breaking point for me and everything. So I see Miss Diane in a lot of that.
Miss Diane, let me be not fooled, y'all. Now I like them all. You know what I mean? It ain't it's entertainment for me. But I knew where that conversation was going, where it come from, and where it stopped. They didn't say everything on camera, but you best believe that family has had horrible conversations about Shamia.
Absolutely.
Yes, how
Yeah.
Miss Diane took that posture, you better watch her. And now, why would she come to you? And Shamia's the bad guy. So when Jess says, when you say Shamia say, why she mad at me, but forgave you, it reminded me of Michelle Lau when Michelle said, even though being friends with the Jake's daughters, the girls was good, anything those girls did got put off on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
Even from childhood. She said they didn't even do it. It would be the girls that would be doing it. But
Yeah.
the parents would always related to, see, that's why I didn't want y'all to be them little girls' friends. See, that's why I didn't want y'all hanging with them. But I try to be nice, and you know how those conversations happen in
Yeah.
our community.
Right.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick.
Conversation. Good
I'm gonna do
conversation.
this super chat, and then we can pick up, ladies. Give me 1 second.
Money, 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 money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money, 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 money comes to me, comes to me, comes to me, comes to me. Money, 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 money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money, 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 money comes to me, comes to me, comes to me. Money, 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 money.
All right. Deborah Lewis, thank you for the 5-piece. And the pepper, she says maybe Portia had Gerald and Shamia like she did Bolo and Tanya. I heard Atlanta is a whole different beast. Atlanta has
Something more
a
down
whole
there.
different beast. Ain't no telling why Gerald don't want to be on camera. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
Kaya.
Yes.
Kaya the diva. Remember for 3 months says Miss Diane talked about Shamia like a dog. Portia didn't refute anything, which makes me wonder, how does Portia talk about Shamia to her mom and her sister? She don't
Yes.
like a dog.
Mhm.
Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Thank you, Kia M. Thank you for the 20-piece. Kia says, didn't stop the rumors, didn't go to the wedding. Was she supportive with Shiloh's medical challenges? Shamia didn't mention it, but speak to Kelly and Candy's support. Are they really friends? Child, what they say. With friends like that, you don't need what? Enemies. And not only that, you remember in episode 1, Shamia is something that's going on. I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
women around her that she's trying to prove herself to, that she deserves to be in these friendship groups with all of these stars. But she said, they can call on me, but I can't call on them.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I think, if we look at it astrologically, her being a Taurus, I think that kind of comes with it a lot of times. I feel that way too. A lot of Tauruses, we pour, but when it's time for someone to, maybe help us out or whatever, and a lot of times we don't ask for it too. So that's the thing too. So I think that may be just part of her, astrological DNA, if I will. You know what I mean? She's, like she want to be everyone's friend. Now I don't have that. I don't think that's the goal of most people. But that whole, I'm everyone's friend, or what's her saying that she says, little
I'm
Monica.
Atlanta's best friend.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Atlanta's best friend, and that's just, that's a shield. I think that's a shield for something else. I think she feels the opposite. I feel like she doesn't have any um close friends. She's just saying that. I think her closest friends probably are her sisters, her family.
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
think the ones that really had the most issue, Miss Diane could be the catalyst between the tension between Shamia and Portia, just like Mama Joyce was the catalyst between the distance between Carmen and Candy. Mama Joyce didn't start acting like that until Candy found Todd.
Yes.
yeah. Well, she's definitely the catalyst. Diane is definitely the catalyst
But
because
did you hear what I
that
said?
statement.
Mama Joyce
Uh-huh.
didn't start doing it until Candy found Todd.
Yes.
See, Carmen was okay to be the help until Candy found a man.
Because she was looking at that money.
No. Because
Woman Joyce
Candy's
was
always
looking
been
at the
there.
money portion of it.
No, the money has always been there. Mama Joyce didn't start really hating Carmen. I keep calling her Candace. I'm so sorry. Carmen until Todd. Now it became formal that Candy was going to marry Todd.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, Queen.
She did. She didn't even want her at the dress thing when Candy
No,
was
no,
picking
no,
the
no, no.
dress.
I believe the actions. No. I'm with you on the actions that she started hating Corman, but I don't know. I don't see the parallel.
Well,
I think it was more
okay,
so
let's
that
go
it
back.
was
The
a money
parallel
situation.
is Mama Joyce has never attacked Carmen, and that's that. Listen, Todd just pulled up. Candy has been shooting the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She had other men on the show. The one that died, she had a problem with Raleigh's. Carmen has been just as important as Don Juan. It wasn't until Todd showed up that Mama Joyce became very suspicious of Carmen. Hold on.
Mhm.
But you don't know. I do. Watch this.
Mhm.
Hold on. Watch this. Listen to her very carefully.
The guy said that the last time they went to the Ultimate Club, Carmen was sitting on his lap. When he told me that, I said, oh, hell, I paid double for that.
But at the end of the day, he never got no pictures. He never had, he was telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
I love me some Aunt Bertha.
Did you not hear what Mama Joyce was
I
accusing
heard
Carmen
what
of
she.
doing?
Yeah. Oh no.
Wanting Todd sexually,
Yeah.
sitting on his lap. So the mamas, she started putting Carmen in this love triangle. Now Carmen wants Todd. Y'all better pay attention when the queen listen. You say, oh, she just said it. She said that Carmen was over there sitting on his lap. You know how them old school women do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I gotta play devil advocate because when I say my mother is the split image of attitude, everything of Candy's mama, I know her pain. My mother acts just like that. I just think Mama Joyce, unfortunately, I think she was just being irrational in that situation. I'm not saying she was completely wrong, but she was getting things from the streets, this, the streets, that. I think she just didn't like Todd, and she was using any little thing to go after him. Now Carmen being whatever she may have heard, or maybe a lie or what have you, because that just never panned out, and it was just not enough proof to back that. She literally hated Todd. I think they are even at odds to this day.
She did, but
I
she
really,
hated Carmen more.
But why did Mama Joyce like Portia though? That's one thing that confused me.
she sure did. She loved her some damn Porsche. So that's why I'm saying she's irrational.
Hold on. She like who?
Portia.
She loved Portia. She don't like Kenya.
She didn't like Phaedra
She
either.
like Kenya sometimes.
Yeah, she like Kenya sometimes, but she loves Portia.
Mama Joyce was hot out there in them streets like Portia when she was young. That's why.
Mama
Yeah.
Joyce is irrational.
She
Still.
liked
I
Portia's
love her.
beauty. She liked Portia's beauty. She was marveled at, like, I mean,
She like that fake stuff. That's that southern peach juice dripping. She like that type of stuff. That's just what it is. I just think Mama Joyce was 100% irrational in certain things. She was very protective of Candy, and I'm not mad at that. But I think she just drew her own conclusions, and even on not Bertha, but the other one, I can't think of her name right now.
I liked her.
No,
Nora?
what's her
Nora.
face? She said after, I guess, she had not an aneurysm, but she had some. Yeah, I think it was an aneurysm. She had to get a Mama Joyce, and after she had that surgery, she started saying irrational stuff like she was doing during that time. So I think that was just irrational on that end. On that end,
Let me say
I
this.
can't say it. But I
Hold
love
on.
you to Mama
Hold
Joyce.
on. Let me say this. If you go back and look at Shamia in her earliest seasons with Portia, Shamia was stunning, drop dead gorgeous. That's why I said with Shamia don't need a lot. Shamia actually, if she do less and go back to, you remember she had her cute little long hair. She was absolutely
so pretty.
stunning. And guess what? What's that lady's name? Miss Diane knows it. I think Miss Diane has more of a problem with Shamia's potential and beauty than Portia does.
Absolutely. Now, in this situation, I think Miss Diane is very jealous because I think she gives her daughter bad advice. She's jealous because Shamia, she got the good African. She got the decent one. Now, we'll never know. Things may turn out different, but right now, for the last, might as well say 10 years, she's had a good man, a good husband. And Portia has gone through a lot of ups and downs with her choices that Miss Diane pushes her into. Because ain't no way a mother knowing the status of this Simon would have encouraged her to marry that
But
fool.
not only that, it goes a little bit further.
Excuse me.
Shamia sealed the deal. It's not just the man, it's the offseed, the offspring of the man. Shamia was able to give him kids. Portia was trying to finesse Simon out of an egg and a sperm and an embryo. They said Simon had it destroyed. See, that would have been a tie to the African culture and whatever wealth she thought he had. Ultimate fell. Irene say, stop making on steps, making up. We just talking, girl. We giving you our opinion, child. Girl, we just talking in a beauty shop. Now, Irene, maybe you don't want to get your hair done today, but we're in a beauty shop today.
Gen X with the flex, I promise you, I think she was. I promise you all day. 304. I think she was that. She was at that. What's the old club down there in Atlanta? I forgot what they call it. She was down there. That's where I think Jose Williams' son met her at.
Oh, Cascade.
Yeah, yes. I don't know nothing about Atlanta, but whatever the old, they always be talking about in movies, whatever the old It Club was back then. That's what
Joyce says that Carmen was flirting with Todd and her mother was looking out. When was Carmen flirting? I'm not saying she wasn't, but when was she, Joy? Go ahead. Somebody's about to say something.
I can't remember that. I do remember it was a lot of accusations going on around that time, but I do know for a fact Mama Joyce couldn't stand Todd. She couldn't stand his. I think she sent his mama to an early grave. God rest in peace. But that woman, after she had that back and forth with her, she went up to New York and had a stroke.
No, she had a massive heart attack. Yeah. But I will say this, I hate that. I think, well, Mama Joyce, hold on. Let me think. Mama Joyce didn't like AJ neither. So the one that passed away.
Mama Joyce is 100% protective, overprotective of Candy. And I can't hate her for that. She's
not protective.
I think she's
that's not protection, that's jealousy. Envy.
That too. But I think since Candy has been so successful in business and has become wealthy, I think, that feeds into it. But initially, I think she's overprotective of her daughter. I just do.
I don't think she's overprotective. I think she wants Candy to be alone like her.
That's what I got too.
But she ain't alone. Yes. She got a little sugar daddy, cat daddy. She got a little something. She's been messing with the same man for years.
No, she ain't.
Yes. That one, they mentioned it either on the spinoff that Candy had when she was showing her restaurants, or another spinoff when they went
that
to
man and left. ain't say all that. Go, Jess. You got to get in here. Go ahead, Jess, if you want.
Yeah, it was something you said on the, I think it was the last video about how Shamia, it's like she might be going through something in her marriage, because her crying in that boots on the ground episode was so random. And I caught that too. I thought that I was one person that thought that was like so out of place, because I'm just like, how do you go from saying like, that like, Gerald is a good husband, so he deserves a son in your confessional. So it makes us think that you're crying about Gerald. And then you say that it's because you got a text from a woman who supported your abuser. And so I was just so confused my personal, because I felt like she was saying like, I have not seen Gerald on camera ask for a baby. I feel like it would come off more authentic if they were to have that conversation and then say why does he want another child, and why must it be a boy? Like, what is that? Like they could talk about how like in the African culture, why it's expected to birth a son or whatever the case may be. And so I really do like wonder, like, okay, was she crying about something else, or was it that situation? Because it just seems so oddly placed.
Well, and let me. I'm gonna give it a try. I do know in a lot of foreign countries, the son, the wife's ability to produce a legacy, your children, that's going to live after you. And most men do want a son alongside the daughters or whatever, but the son is the one that keeps the family name living forever. The woman, when she gets married, and if you look at it from a traditional standpoint, the whether it's African, Muslim, or whatever, you give over the wife to take on the name of her husband, but the son will carry out the name forevermore, and his children and his children. That's why I believe that Gerald may want a son. I think he loves his daughters. I think he's happy to have them. But when it comes to his name being carried on, his sons can continue to reproduce, and their names, the boys, right? The boy, whatever Gerald's last name is, lives on. Does that help y'all?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep the lineage. Okay, I was right. Valerie says, my ex is an African, and he said they want a son to keep the lineage going. Yes. I think it's something, and I'm not wishing nothing, but Shamia just seems, the way she's acting out, like she has the most of all the women, it appears. Because one thing I learned, when shit hit the tabloid, so when people come on TV, everything, she appears to have the most. She appears to be in a better position financially. Everything looks good on paper. Why the antics? Outside, number one, drinking, like, I'm not saying drinking, but it's the behavior that you engage in, slapping Portia's butt. It's not given Mother Africa. It's not given, I'm married to this rich African man who adores me. It's not giving, I'm sitting in a nice multi-million-dollar home. I love it's given city girl. It's not lining up with the story you tell. And then what else did you say? You said, oh, her crying. Here's what it is, y'all. And not to say that anybody is being insensitive to domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds like maybe 10, 15 years ago, Shamia went through some very, very turbulent times with an ex.
Yeah.
With an ex. And she was blessed enough to get through that, heal from that, move on, marry this man that loves her. Now, y'all got to remember how Shamia ended up in Gerald's bed.
Ooh, a friend.
No, ma'am. Didn't he meet her at the club and she went home with him?
That's what she. Okay. It's
No,
some of the
the next day or a couple days later, he had a party at his house.
No, ma'am. No,
something like that.
I thought she met him at the club, went home with him. She was drinking and eating, had to pooed in his bathroom.
Yeah.
And then the next time she came back, he had good wipes for her. She met him at the club and went home with him.
She may have initially met him at the club, but I don't think she went home with her. The way I remember it.
Oh, no, ma'am. It was a club. He met him at the club. He took her home. And she had
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she met him at the club. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Simone.
No, I mean, she probably did, but I'm saying I don't know if she went home with him the first night.
Yeah, she went home. She told us.
Yeah.
Okay.
She went home. and she had to poo. So she wakes up the next morning. She had to really go, and she was embarrassed because all that alcohol and food and all of that. And then the next time he invited her back to the house, he had wipes and everything
Right.
for her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, simply. Thank you, Angela. Threw up and everything. She was a drunk. She was doing what she's doing now.
Ooh.
So why has the behavior not changed? Something is up. Okay, let me go to She
Well,
is Shanada.
oh,
She is Shanada. Welcome.
Peace, Queen, and peace to the chat. Um, I was gonna say, I think missed a little bit because I clicked on a link and then it took me somewhere else, so I kind of missed a little bit of what you said. But I remember when you said something about Mama Joyce, like in Portia, or somebody said that. And if y'all remember, well, Portia she's kind of like Atlanta royalty because of who her, who her grandfather is and who her father is and her family, civil rights activist Jose Williams and everything. So I was thinking maybe that's the reason why Mama Joyce, because they have like that, they have this big organization and they give back to the community and everything. That name lives on and it is a powerful name in Black American history. So that could be a reason why Mama Joyce kind of took to Portia in a way, because she is, her family was in the church and kind of a big deal. Um, and I had one more thing to say. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Take your time. You can go on mute. I can come back to you. You don't have to rush.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me hop back.
No. Just mute your microphone. Say, and then
Okay.
I'll
that's
come
a
back
good
to you.
point. She
Sam.
makes a very good point. I can agree with your point. And also in the chat, Kia said something too, especially in maybe the last few episodes. I mean, she might be emotional too because she is taking hormones and everything to get the egg and all that stuff. So that could have something to do with it, at least during that time period. I don't know if she's currently on it from that Watch What Happened Live show. She was crying there too. So I don't know, but it could be hormonal. So that's just a
Okay,
little
that's
bit
a
of
good
grace
point.
I'll give to her.
That's a good consideration. It could be Sam, or it could be feeling guilty from acting a damn fool and then realizing the next morning, shit, my husband's gonna see this. Sam,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Sam.
Okay. Hi. I'm a big fan. I'm calling from Europe. So thanks for taking my call.
Awesome. You have the
So,
floor.
so just really quick, as I was listening to you ladies, something crossed my mind, and I've seen this kind of a meme on the internet where people say, "You're not ugly, you're just poor." And I feel like as Portia and Shamia were younger and they were coming up together, they were both good looking brown girls, but Portia was a little bit lighter. She also had a little bit of status. And so it was like Shamia was just like, like almost like the Robin to her Batman. And as they got older, I don't know the exact timeline, but if my memory serves me correct, when she was married to her first husband, like Shamia was hustling. So Shamia was like, doing her cheerleading thing and her hosting thing. And she was the person who like, she was not the housewife, which Portia was able to marry a guy who was wealthy or had a little bit of money. And it seemed as if like, it was, okay, I am destined to be, like this wealthy person because of my name. And I do wonder like the dynamic shifting, because of course Shamia worked on her character, she worked on her connections, whereas Portia got her fame, which had a lot to do with something she didn't like. It's sort of kind of like the vanity thing, like from her looks and from her this and from her that. And now that people are not giving Portia passes from the exterior and they're looking at the interior, it's really interesting just to see how Portia and her mom are turning on Shamia. And I don't think Shamia is innocent in a lot of things. Like I do think she's like a culprit, but it's just really, really interesting, like just to look at it and just to see like the shift. Even with Shamia being like the lapdog for years, I think she was able to throw rocks and hide her hand for a while. And now that she's a peach holder, she's like, people are following up with no, Shamia brought this information, or Shamia's just not like a +1. She's actually here on her own, like 2 feet. And so that's basically it. I was just listening to you ladies, and it just really made me think of the whole, you're not poor, you're not ugly, you're just poor. And now that Shamia is like wealthy and she's got all of these things, the dynamic has completely changed of power between the two ladies.
Let me ask you this real quick before I go to somebody else. When Portia was married to Cardell, no, what's his name? No, when Shamia was married to her first husband, was Portia married to Cordell? Sam?
Yeah, I hear you.
It had to be around the same time.
No, were they married? When Shamia was married to whoever she was married to, was Portia married to the NFL player?
Oh, that's a good
Does anybody know?
I don't know for a fact, but
she
I'm looking
was
at the
married from
timeline.
2011 to 2013.
Who was married? Hold on. Who was married 2011 to 2013?
Portia.
Okay, everybody pause. Can somebody look up Shamia's first marriage and just type it in Google real quick from the chat?
Yeah, so it says that Shamia and the guy King Solomon Smallwood Jr. they married in 2009 and divorced in 2010.
They're always chasing it. Not literally. They're always
Trying to run
arriving at their destinations at different times. Does that
It
make
does
sense?
feel like that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I did feel like Portia, like whenever Shamia was married to, of course, when she was married to Gerald, I feel like because there was something that Portia mentioned where she thanked Shamia for being the best matchmaker, and I was confused. I'm like, she already knew him before that, so but I'm thinking maybe Shamia encouraged Portia to date Simon despite all the stuff going on, because it's like for real, they're probably at their best when they're both happy in relationships.
Well, Nene did it. It's something with Simon now, because think about it. Portia got mad at Nene because Nene took a picture with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who's African, standing next to Simon, who's African, and you remember that girl he was frolicking with?
The Ethiopian lady.
So it seems like Simon keeps getting introduced to all these women while he's married. But go ahead.
Yeah, and so I feel like if she's saying that Shamia match made her and Simon, it maybe was like her just encouraging her, like, yeah, go ahead and date him, because she probably feels like, okay, if Portia's happy, that me and her could keep our friendship going, we both could be happily married at the same time and be each other's couple, because like before that, Portia had when she was married, while Shamia was married to Gerald, Portia had Dennis. Then things went south. So it's like their friendship probably like took a turn whenever Portia was going through whatever she was going through. And so she probably like, in her mind doesn't care if like, what the optics look like, as long as like, her and her friend could be married together and have a solid friendship.
All right. Let me go back to
Shahida.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I was gonna say, okay, so Gerald, Shamia's husband, he is in the plumbing industry, right? So he has the plumbing company. Okay. HVAC. Which includes plumbing and because my husband.
Did I say that right, y'all?
HVAC.
HVAC.
Like the installation of these big industrial air conditioning systems, like airports, malls, stuff like that.
And I think it also includes plumbing. I think because
gotcha.
my husband's a plumber and he works for an HVAC company. And so that's why I was like really invested when I knew that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's one. And we're here in Atlanta. But I was thinking that could be another reason why. I mean, another reason why she wants to give him a son, because like, who's going to take over the business? You see what I'm saying? Like he made his fortune off of that, which is amazing. But you need a son to help. You need sons, you need good people, good men around to help carry that on. And so that could be another reason why she may be thinking in her mind. But I mean, I don't know, that's why she was emotional. But that could be another reason why, just to continue on that generational wealth. And because my husband wants my sons to take over, when he, that's something that he's going to be training them. They're very young, but that's what he wants to do as well, because that is like a staple industry. Everybody needs that. So That's neither here nor
Okay,
there.
let's say this because they will eat you up in the comments. Not right now, but on a replay. They say HVAC and plumbing are two different fields, not the
Yeah,
same.
they're two different fields, but they go hand in hand because my husband does everything. Like he's worked for a couple of companies, and then now the company they have is the HVAC company, but they have plumbers, they have heating. HVAC is heating, ventilation, and air.
Okay.
And then they also have electric. So all those go together. It's construction. It's actually under the umbrella of construction. And I'm a plumber's wife, so I know this.
Yeah, she said, y'all better sit down and learn. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yes. And it's something that, hey, you get you a working man, you get your working husband. It's money in that. It's a
Right.
big deal because that also includes construction. So going on sites, doing industrial, doing commercial, new construction, residential, all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So look, hold on. Let me read my super chats. Give me 1 second, everybody.
All right, Palace. The Super Chat Squad is in the building. We appreciate you, baby. The Super Chats are fire. Get in your bag.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yes, yes. Thank you, Kia. Thank you with the 5-piece and a pepper. Kia, thank you for your consistent support of the palace. She came back and she said, please remember Shamia is hocked up on hormones as well as she's super sensitive. I agree. I agree. I'm gonna leave it there. I agree. Okay, that's something to consider. Kia M came back with another 5-piece. She said, yes, she's doing another round as recently as a month ago. It was just on her channel a couple of weeks ago. She might, okay. Okay. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. The pressure is on. The heat is on. To Latrice says, what's going on with Black women and their ability to conceive / and or birth a child? Did something happen? It's called stress. Stress. Black women are having to take on more and more than they ever had and have in their lives. Not only that, when the ability to carry is also what's in your blood. And I'm not talking about disease. I'm talking about it. I'm talking about the foods that we eat, the diets, the lack of nutrition now, processed foods. So you compound that with being in most situations, well, we're talking about Shamia who's married, but she has 1,000 things going on. Sit your butt down. Sit your butt down. Your body needs a lot of rest for the embryo to stick and stay stuck to the uterus. Sit down somewhere and rest. And I don't when I say sit down, I don't mean lay down. Relax. Reset your spirit, your system, reset your body. But Shamia is so busy doing so much. Her body is always in a constant state of heightened stress. And a lot of women are experiencing that, which also impacts their and hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm just saying layman's term from a worldly way. It impacts their ability to carry, their fertility or lack thereof, infertility. Anybody else want to jump on that?
Yes, I have something to say. So because I'm a big advocate of, and I know a lot of us women are, especially Black women, of like being holistic and breastfeeding. I breastfed all my children, but one thing that that's really affecting us in that realm is fibroids. And I've had fibroids, but going the holistic route, not getting them cut out, using herbs and things, and not jumping to what do you call it, allopathic medicine, using holistic methods. Like, we can do that. And I think that's one thing that I see on the show with Drew, because she had fibroids. That was the reason why her stomach was, I guess, kind of bloated all the time. And I know Cynthia had it at one point. Like, we should be really researching and turning to holistic methods so that we don't have to have our bodies cut up, so we can, like, you know what I'm saying? Because fibroids grow back, and it can affect your pregnancies, and it can make you have miscarriages, and all the pain and stuff that comes with that, and just the other things. But I just want to say that really quickly. But also, I do believe we are under a lot of stress because we're chasing generational wealth. We want to get it. We do have husbands. Some of us, can be stay-at-home moms and all those different things. But at the same time, we're trying to create generational wealth, and I think that's one thing that Shamia is doing. She wants to get out there and get in, have her money as well. But like you said, you're trying to have a baby, when you're trying to conceive, you got to sit down, you got to relax. And that may be something she's not thinking about, but I believe she needs to do that because she's doing so much. And it is a good thing to see that we can do a lot, but it's hurting us.
Yeah, and you got to remember in the condition that you have to create for babies. People can, you can be every woman, but there's still conditions that the child or the embryo needs in order to form fully and attach correctly. And a lot of that has to do with lifestyle. We have a lot of stress. We have heart disease. We take on the most aggressive forms of breast cancer, still unexplained. But at the end of the day, about 80 to 82% of chronic conditions are often caused by stress. Yeah, and I know this conversation is taking somewhat of a different turn, but we just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, and it's an important topic to talk about. Like, excuse me, I have my allergies. That's why my voice sounds all stuffy. But yeah, it's something where like I really do wonder. Like, and I know I understand that women like sometimes like to space it out because even me right now, it's like I'm pregnant, but I'm trying to figure out like, okay, should I wait a couple years for the next one because I honestly get terrified of the idea of like if I don't have the kids within a certain window, then it's like, what if fibroids or any condition comes and all that? And I really do feel like bad. Like I noticed one thing on reality TV is that they conceive a child, but then it's like they always have to go the surrogacy route for like the next child or like IVF route. I'm noticing that a lot especially on RHOA. And so it's really sad.
Now, there are in situations where you do have people with more access to be able to afford infertility treatments. Doctors do shun them from utilizing it because of a lack of impatience if they truly have no medical diagnosis of being barren or unable to carry. So some people do go that route because it's quicker and they just don't want to wait and hope it happened. They've tried once or twice and be like, you know what, we got the money. Let's go do it. That happens all the time. The doctor is the person that's supposed to be the gatekeeper and say, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly healthy. There's no reason why you should not conceive. You're just going to have to be patient and wait. So we also live in a very impatient world and society where we want what we want when we want it. I'm not saying that's everybody's case, but a lot of people with money do, white and black, go say, you know what, go ahead and put it in here. So that happens too. And that could be some of the reasons why you're seeing it occur more times with these people on reality television.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Because everybody just can't be. I don't think that everybody's infertile like that. They've had kids or whatever, and so all of a sudden now they're wanting that last kid, and then they're going through the IVF process. So yeah, and I think about that. Yeah, but didn't Shamia have something? Did she have something wrong with that last pregnancy, or it was something where she had like a miscarriage, or
It was the surrogate.
Oh, okay.
It was the surrogate. And if you watch 90 Day Fiance, do y'all remember? Did y'all watch 90 Day Fiance with Angela and Michael where she couldn't tote an egg? And I don't know if y'all remember that couple, Angela and Michael.
The white lady and the African man.
Yes, from 90 Day Fiance. Hold on. And he was He was from Nigeria. And his family kind of shunned fertility and surrogacy. I mean, that was looked down in his African culture. You know what I mean? Y'all don't remember them?
I do remember them, but I never watched the show. But yeah, I do notice that I watched that show Young, Famous, and African, and I feel like the actress Enia Doe, when she was talking about her surrogacy journey, I feel like she feels this sort of guilt for having to go that route. And I feel so bad for her because I feel like it's something where it's like she doesn't want to talk about it. And I noticed that in Nigeria they don't really talk about it too much because I'm actually Nigerian too. So it's like I noticed that they're afraid to kind of toe that line. They have to make everything always a secret in a sense. And it's just it's really sad.
Well, it's deemed in some cultures, not all. America, not so much, but it's still a little bit of a stigma to it. Not to white women, right? But black women, they get made fun of. You hear it all the time on YouTube. So people aren't really as comfortable. This is Michael and Angela. Y'all remember them?
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh. Wait a minute. That's
Girl, I
okay.
kid you not. She said she didn't go to egg. Y'all remember this couple?
Yep.
He was trying to get her
Nigeria.
pregnant.
Didn't they break up?
Is this the mother or the daughter? He was trying to get her pregnant.
She wanted her daughter to tote the egg, and her word was tote.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
And she was like she's literally racist to him. It was crazy. He ran away when he got to America. All this stuff, like it's crazy. But you got to go watch it. But
He ran away when
he did, didn't he? He ran away. I'm not lying. Am I lying? Anybody that watched the show, click the link. Am I lying? They was searching for him everywhere. He wouldn't go home. Like the police was looking for him. She treated him like a slave, and his parents. They were scared for him to come to America with a white woman because they thought she was gonna make him a slave, and she damn near almost got away with it.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. So what I'm looking at, is that the mother or the mother?
No, that's the woman.
That's the wife.
That's Angela.
That's the wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
He thought he could get her pregnant.
Girl, go watch 90 Day Fiance. This show is crazy. But that's how I learned about.
She looked too old to be getting pregnant. I mean, to be able to get pregnant.
That's
Okay.
Angela.
Oh boy.
Yep, hold on. Let me give you a better picture, so you don't think I'm lying.
Please send me a better picture, because
Let me give you a better picture. Let me give you a better one.
Jesus.
Let me be fair. I believe in maybe I didn't put forth the best picture. Hold
Is
on.
there age gap?
Wait, there's not.
Yeah, there's an age gap.
She got a nice outfit on. Like, I don't think the picture could change.
That's better.
That's better.
Like, that's why she look like that, because she racist.
That's a better picture. Oh, they say she look worse. Let me see if I can find one more. I know y'all lied. Okay, this is how she used to look when they first met. This might be better. I'm really trying to be fair. Hold on.
His Nigerian mama and family knew she was not going to.
And then watch this. When he stopped answering her call, she flew to Nigeria and busted his windows out of his car. Y'all better go watch this show.
Oh my gosh, I need to watch this.
Yeah, she went down there and tore that car up.
No, she didn't.
No, that's a good show. I'm always 90 Day Fiance taught me a lot about different cultures.
What season is this?
I never looked at it. Oh my God.
This picture that bad?
It is.
I mean, I guess when you led with that they were trying to get pregnant, and I just can't see that on nothing, on none of these pictures that you showed. I can't see how he thought he was going to get her pregnant, or his family after meeting her thought she's only 35.
Nah,
someone did say she was 35.
Okay.
Someone said 30. Who's 35? They saying 35 in the chat.
Michael might be 35.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Might be like. How old is Angela, y'all?
I'm gonna stop playing with me.
They'll tell you. They watched it.
Stop playing with me.
Well, this might be a better picture because this is what she used to look like when they first met.
Okay, yeah, she looked good here.
Okay, she lost weight. Okay.
Oh, the weight made it look.
Yeah, that's Angela.
I mean, she still look. Yeah, she lost a lot of weight. So,
she's in her 50s. So let me see. How old is Angela?
But she still looks too mature to be considered to be having birth.
How old is Angela? She was out there cursing them out, smoking them cigarettes in Africa. It was a mess.
Okay, she's 59 years old, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cursed out his friends in Africa, called them the goofballs. It was funny. It was hilarious, but it was abusive. But anywho, but that's how I learned how important it is for an African man to be able to have a son, and how in vitro or fertility treatments are shunned and looked down on in the African culture. It's not natural. It's not considered normal. People have a knee-jerk reaction to it. And, conversations were had. And if you can't do it, then we will have to bring in another wife to do it.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. So that's it for today's show, everybody. Thank you for pulling up. Man, y'all are still over 600 strong. We have been on for 2 hours. Let me see if I missed anything. Otherwise, yeah, Joy says Angela had already had all her kids and wanted to use this young man for his youth. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a
I
very,
would have ran
very
away
good
too
show.
when I got to America if I was him.
Yeah, he ran away. He did. Everybody, they was looking for him. You think I'm lying, girl? It was all over the news.
Gosh.
Come on. Everybody on social media was here.
I remember he had a GoFundMe or something.
Oh my God.
I'm embarrassed for her.
He had everybody looking for him.
I would have ran away too, because if she going over there busting out windows, who knows how she was acting behind the scenes when the cameras were away. I would have ran away too.
Yeah.
Auntie CC say he slapped, ran away. He did. He ran away from that country town. I don't even know how he got out, but he got out.
So wait a minute, had they got married and he was able
Yeah,
to get
she
his
brought him over from
citizenship?
Nigeria. He was in a racist town. I think he took the Underground Railroad.
Oh, wait a minute. Was he a citizen at that point?
Hmm?
Was he a citizen at that point? Did he have his permanent resident?
Probably a green card.
He had his green card?
Maybe.
Not yet.
She was beating him. Oh, hell no.
PSM say it was all over social media. She was abusive towards him. He ran away. You think I'm lying? I know I sound like I'm joking. That man ran away from home.
Oh my
Police was looking for
God.
him, the network people on, so everybody in their town. Like I was looking. Have you seen Mike?
It's not funny, but it's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny, but it's funny.
Hey, Jay Taylor.
Oh
We
my
over here
God.
setting up.
Oh my God.
Everybody was looking for him. That African. I swear to God.
Oh
We was
Jesus.
concerned. They didn't know if she killed him or what.
Oh Lord. Okay, well, thank you for having me. This was a great conversation.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna go ahead and end the live. Thank you, thank you. I hope I helped you get your work day by. Thank you, everybody, for coming up on the panel.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Deborah, I didn't know that she said she knocked his head between the washer and the dryer.
Oh.
Yeah, that lady was something else, like flowers in the attic.
Oh no.
Yes, it's true. Queen Sheba ain't lying. Am not. I was looking for him. Hell.
Oh.
I knew he went in Texas, but I was riding around just in case I saw him.
You silly. Oh my God. This is crazy. I always hear about that show, but I've never looked at one episode
Oh,
of
it's
that
good. Like OWN is not the only network. There's some good shows out there, and I love them all, but I just can't cover them all. Somali Queen says, Jay Taylor, welcome back. They're saying hi, Jay. You must have just pulled up on your break, Jay. Yeah, y'all gotta go watch 90 Day Fiance and watch Angela and Michael's season. I was looking. Look, I ain't gonna lie. It was so bad how she treated him. Even white people were coming out and say, "You can move with us, Michael. You can live in our home. We'll be a family to you." And they meant it.
Oh, I might have to find that. Maybe I can get the the Cliff Notes version. I could just look at their because there's a whole bunch of other couples on there too, right? Or do they just
Oh
focus on
yeah,
one
it's
couple?
good. It's real good.
Oh Lord.
Leo Queen says 90 Day Fiance is a gift. Good. Listen, have my husband in a chokehold.
I'm
You be
gonna
like, hey,
go.
can we watch that show together? Yeah, let's sit down and watch it.
Oh Jesus. All right, let me get up here. You got me
All right,
doing my
yeah.
work day. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
Have a good day,
All right. Y'all,
everyone.
thank you
Bye-bye.
for pulling up with the palace. We had a good time today, but y'all got to check out the old versions of if you haven't already. Look up Michael and Angela's season. I warn you now. You're going to be shocked how she took her ass over there and acted in Africa and didn't give a damn and was putting her finger in all of them Africans' faces and didn't. It was horrible. Kaya says, this is great. Until next time. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that will conclude our review of The Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 10. That's just how we do it. All right. Bye, everybody.